Right now,
We're back.
we're here. Highway to hell. Ba-ba.
You're not a singer. You're not a singer.
They should not throw us off for that.
You better run the scroll.
Oh yeah, yep. All
Uh,
right, there you go. Facebook, we're doing okay.
Joe's back.
Yeah, thanks.
Unbelievable.
It
Play this
is
game
every week.
every week.
Now, did you get the email yet?
Not yet.
Yeah, we're live. Well, we're just having just chit chat till everybody gets back in.
Yeah, what it is, Will, is Will goes, am I in the back room again? They'll send it. They'll send it, but now they're sending it at about 8:20, and it'll say 8:03. It was released. They
So
got tired of me showing.
I wonder what happens if we play it again.
I don't know.
Hold
Fuck
up.
them. Huh?
Hold up.
All right, people. You want to play it again? Try it. What's
Uh,
up, Todd?
I
No,
don't know
let's
if
keep
these
going.
people, these people don't want to go through our
So,
games with
so what we were talking about before Facebook so rudely booted us like they do. They're just a bunch of rude people, Doug. All right, they don't understand how they can be rude in a woke nation like they follow. But whatever. What we're talking about is 101st Airborne deployed right on the outskirts of Ukraine, putting,
to
we
practice.
believe, yeah, to practice, putting, we believe, trying to get us in the war.
You
But
practice war, you know that.
yeah, war games. But George Bush, I didn't like the old man, but you know, he went and liberated Kuwait. Doug, what did it take? 28 days,
Yes.
something like that. Storming Norman. When he did that, there was reason to do that. I didn't disagree with that. When he did that. Of course, there was a reason when his kid, went after him for the trade towers and stuff. That I didn't think it turned into a 20-year war, but
Right.
and then Biden gives them everything back, and then we turn around now. In a better sense, we're we're not pissing with the Taliban. We're pissing with one of the big boys on the blocks,
Mm-hmm.
and he's got some backing, and
Our
I mean.
competitor.
Hmm?
It's really our competitor.
And let's get down to it. If anybody thinks that gas line blew up under the sea on its own, they bumped their fucking heads. I got a picture that I
Talking about
sent
the
Doug.
Nord Stream, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
you got that picture.
I'll get it while you talk about it.
But there's pictures out, and I don't care what you tell me. I've been around pipelines, and Dean Henry's back. I've been around pipelines, and I know when there's an eruption in a pipeline, what it looks like. Um, and I know when a pipeline's been cut, they got a rope that they can put around these lines. Doug, the rope, it heats up and gets so hot it'll burn right through, or a laser that deep in the water. What, you looking at me like you're.
No, I'm just kind of trying to think that through my head because it
There's
doesn't make
it's a
sense in
rope.
water.
It's a rope. It's a rope type, and it goes around. And they heat that. It's not rope material, of course. It's like a metal type of material, cable. But they heat it up so much that it'll cut through the pipe. Now, you got that ready?
I am getting ready to put it up here in just a second.
There's two pictures, I believe, or at least one I sent you.
Yeah, I have one, and it is
So,
ready.
can you really got to look close and blow that up. You see the dirt, and then you see that right there. That's one of the causes of the eruption of the pipeline, Nord
Okay,
Stream
I see
pipeline.
that white thing in the middle.
That's a piece of dirt. If you come down,
So this is magnified.
Where am I at here? Right there, right there. You see that line going across? That is a clean cut. I got another picture that will show you a clean cut. It's a clean cut. About to go ahead, you can take it down, Doug.
So you're saying
I'm not saying, I'm assuming. I don't want to say because Facebook will fucking say I'm leading into misinformation and I'm one of the extremists and conspiracy theories. I'm assuming.
you're the reason.
I'm assuming that that was cut. I got another picture that shows, and there's, you know, an eruption doesn't do that. An eruption, Cal's back again. They see, right. Joe, you agree with me, Joe. You know, put that back up again, Doug, real quick, and right there. I don't know if we can blow that up anymore. I doubt it, but okay. So once again, that right there is where the eruption. That's dirt up above it, but that line right there, a straight line.
There.
Yeah, that's a cut. And they're saying it erupted. Now, this is one of the things that are. This is one of the things.
Just do me a favor and tell me what I'm looking at. I see what you're saying. There's a cut there.
That's a pipe.
But what?
That's where. That's where the pipeline goes through.
Is the what do I need? Is this the pipe right here?
No, that's dirt on top of the pipe.
Okay, only that little part.
This is pipe, actual pipe. This is dirt and sand on top of the pipe. This down through here is pipe. Then what you see right here is where they say some of the eruption come that it blew up. You know, hey, let me tell you something. That's not a fucking blow up. A blow up, it would be blown apart. Anybody that's worked construction and has seen water lines, gas lines, and stuff like that, they blow apart. That's a cut. That's a cut. I don't give a shit what Facebook gets pissed off about or YouTube or who gets mad. We're not stupid. Now, how they do that in that deep water, I wonder if Greg Miller got back on, but how they do that in deep water is you can take a laser down there and do it, you know, with laser, or like I say rope. And when I mean rope, it's a cable type material that they get wrapped around it. Then they heat that rope up so hot that they can pull it through, Doug. Okay? And it'll cut it. It's just like, here's a fine example. Anybody that's dealt with PVC pipe, sewer pipe, you can take a string line anybody knows the string line, stretch it across, and that's what you run your forms different, you know, to grade, keep your grade. You can take a string line and keep running that string line around that pipe and cut axle through pipe with that string line. It's the same concept. And
steel braided line. Same steel braided line.
Yeah, but they heat it up.
To your point, you wouldn't see dirt that close to an eruption.
Exactly. Okay, and I'm surprised you see dirt because of the way it blew out of there too. You know, once the natural gas started coming out, but
you need a bigger phone.
Trying to see the picture. Greg, I'll send it to you. I got two pictures, actually. I'll send to you when I get off. But you can clearly see in the second picture I got that it was cut. So, you know, who's doing that, Doug? You know? Who's doing that?
Who has interest in doing that?
And the other thing is Putin made the comment, whoever did this, he come right out and said the line was, you heard him say, this line was intentionally cut. You know, and whoever did it's international terrorists. I almost got to agree with them, to tell you the truth. I almost got to agree with them. Whoever did that, it was a terrorist act, in my opinion. Because now you're cutting off, you know, natural gas to Germany and everything else, the
Right.
European nation. So,
Right.
whatever. I mean, we'll never know the truth. But that's something I felt I want to bring up tonight, Doug, is that gas line. I don't give a shit what Nord Stream natural gas line didn't blow up. That right there proves it. That's a cut. Anybody with fucking common sense can tell it's a cut. Anybody that knows an explosion would rip that thing. If it exploded, you would see a hole in it or blown apart.
Right.
You would see shrapnel type where the metal come, apart. It is what it is. We'll have to wait to go see Paul Harvey to get the rest of the story.
I don't know what's going on with the notifications.
Chaz, we're all Facebook's all got us fucked up, Yeah, fragmentation. That's it, Cal. That was the word I was looking for. You'd see fragmentation. The pipe would be. Here's a fine example. How many of you guys? You're from Cleveland. A lot of you guys out east. Remember when? Can't remember if it was Site Tech or who it was. The gas line blew up in Cleveland. Took the fire truck out. Went up the pole. You guys all remember that? When it was about 5-7 years ago, I think it was Site Tech was doing some work, and the water line was blowing on. They broke the water line. It was blowing on a gas line, and the gas line let loose. Poof! And that gas line literally let loose. It's the same concept of natural gas. It's a natural gas line. Only when it went up in the air and fire was way up, burnt the fire truck up and shit. I don't know if you guys remember that, but that line there was fragmented and everything else.
Right.
It's a lot of shit going on. And then he deploys the 101st right on the border to do exercises, right?
To practice. You practice.
Exercise. They're going out and doing jumping jacks and shit on the border.
They are not practicing war.
No.
You're not sending that group out to practice.
There's quite a few of them that went.
Right.
There's quite a few of them that went. Yeah, that group there, they're some badasses, Doug. That group's some of the badasses. So, be prepared, people. I mean, then one of the concepts that hit me, he can delay the election if we're in war.
Well,
somebody sent that to me.
We might have more than that.
What?
Hold on. Let me do this. Let me start our show out. No, let me not do that.
You're on your phone. Go ahead, start the show.
My phone. So let's first talk about this. The Republican National Committee is suing Google.
Yes.
Why?
Probably because they made it hard to research anything on the Republicans.
Well, what they're doing is the Republican National Committee is sending out emails. Google has it set up to go to spam. Just the Republican side.
Not the Democratic.
Correct. So that's what's happening here with us. Same thing.
I broke my other one, Doug. My bigger one I broke.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Got mad?
About cried. No. I had a crack in it. I don't know. About cried. That's all I want for Christmas is a bigger cup.
You got big trucks coming to your house.
Big cups.
Right. Big cups.
So Google's jumped in on this. Facebook's in on this.
Yeah. And let me play this because it kind of says everything. I didn't want to, but I'm going to. So here we go.
We the people is how the Constitution starts. A magistrate is a person that operates under authority. They have power. There are higher magistrates and there are lesser magistrates. The founding fathers of this country understood that there's going to come a point in time where the federal government will need to be checked. If not, they will become tyrants. And that is what's happening now. So, the Declaration of Independence says that everyone, by virtue of being a human being, has the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The federal government, too, the federal government, their purpose is to protect the rights of those citizens, the rights of us to our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. The third point of that document is if they fail to protect its citizens and enforce those rights, the citizens have a right to revolt. Do you understand? We have a right to resist, and we have an obligation and a duty to do so.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand when it says a duty to step between a tyrannical government and its laws? They are coming for our children. We cannot sit down.
No. No.
Every great leader knows, every one of them, even the bad ones know, that if you want to affect the country, you go for its children. When in the world do we start using children as bulletproof vests for us?
Yeah.
When in the world do we start testing things on children?
Legal shield.
They come to us first. And when you come for our children, you have started a war.
That's the point I wanted to bring up is yeah, they're using the kids.
We've been saying that though.
Yep. And
Did I send that to you? Because I was watching that the other. Yeah.
yes.
I watched that the other day, and at first I'm like, well, you know, I wasn't gonna watch it because oh man, this, you know.
Right.
Then I watched it anyways, and I thought, holy shit, this says it all.
Yeah.
She lays it right on the line, and everything she said is fact. And we've been saying, and I hate to repeat myself a million times, but we've been saying this for over a year, Doug.
And the thing is that, you know, people have the right to take over their government. J6 is not going that way.
Mm-mm. Let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
I told you 2 weeks ago about the redneck story, how redneck name come about. It's getting close to tie the rednecks on, Doug. It's getting close to tie the rednecks on. And go.
I think we can.
And Facebook, if you don't like that comment, I don't give a shit, because you're the dumbest people on earth. You are the dumbest people I know, because you fall into this shit, and you fell into this along with Google, and you're going along with this left-wing progressive agenda. And the problem is, when it does take over, when the Bilderberg group jumps in and they're taking over and everything, you're going to be the first head they cut. They ain't going to have this out there. Facebook will no longer exist. They're not going to have us being able to reach, you know, across the world and talking, you know, in real time. You know, it's not going to exist. This media that we have, social media, will be the first thing to go. They're not going to want people in Ohio to know what the hell's going on in Indiana, much less around the world. Right. So that's how stupid Facebook is. And they don't get it.
All right. Speaking of stupid, our commander-in-chief tried to make a decision on TV that didn't go very well. Now I want you all to watch. And this guy,
he's a joke.
He's a joke, and really mentally and health, he's not there. Watch the pause when they ask him about Dr. Biden, his wife. I think he had to figure this out. Yeah. There we go.
The reason I'm not making a judgment about formally running or not running, once I make that judgment, a whole series of regulations kick in. And I treat myself as a candidate from that moment on. I have not made that formal decision, but it's my intention to run again. And we have time to make that decision.
Dr. Biden is for it. Mr. President. Oh,
Dr. Biden thinks that, my wife thinks that, that we're doing something very important and that I shouldn't walk away from it.
Dr. Biden,
Who?
my wife,
It's
whoever,
like
whoever that is.
It's one it's well, Fran DeWine's wife's making pies. I mean, Jill Biden, you know, my wife. It took him. He didn't know what the hell he meant. It took him a minute.
It gets worse. Here's another one.
What more does he have to do? He ain't run us in the ground enough. He's got to finish it.
I don't know. Maybe that's it. Maybe Bilderberg gave him a little bit more money. Here's another one.
President Joe Biden spoke about infrastructure at an event on Thursday in Pittsburgh. During his remarks, he spoke about Lieutenant Governor John Fetterman. Fetterman is running for United States Senate against Dr. Oz to replace outgoing Senator Pat Toomey. President Biden thanked Fetterman for running and then spoke to John's wife, Giselle Fetterman, and said she would, quote, be a great lady in the Senate. John Fetterman has come under fire during the campaign, with his detractors questioning his fitness for office after he suffered a stroke earlier this year. A doctor released a letter earlier this week saying that Fetterman, quote, has no work restrictions and can work full duty in public office.
And Lieutenant Governor, I was saying something nice about you. That's why I went out. And but I'm saying we're going to try like the devil to keep you from deciding to leave. I wish you didn't. And John, thank you very much for running. I really do appreciate it. And Giselle, you're gonna be a great lady in the Senate.
She's gonna be a great lady in the Senate. Oh, what a fucking moron!
I think he's talking to John.
Yeah, but he's talking to his wife. Oh, you're gonna be a great lady in the Senate.
All right, and our friends have a few words to say too.
I sent these to you, didn't I?
Yeah, here's another one. All right.
But first, this week, President Biden gave a speech at Fern Hollow Bridge in Pittsburgh and again showed America and indeed the world that he is a man who knows what he's doing.
Over $1.2 trillion.
$1 billion, 200 billion, $1 trillion, no one's quite sure what he meant. But you know, I'm sure that was the only muddled part of the speech. The rest was crystal clear.
And Bobby, I promised you, he'd been on my back to get this done since I got elected president. Don't forget the lockjaw. So I just think, I'm not sure how we're going to do this, but so long as I couldn't say no.
I don't know what he means, but he wasn't done there. Then the president made this incredible claim.
My grandfather, Finney Scranton, would really be proud of me right now. No, I'm not joking, he would. By the way, he was an All-American football player, John, in Santa Clara.
No, he wasn't an All-American football player. When Joe says, I'm not joking, he means I'm lying. There are many, many examples of those words being uttered by the president at the end of a verifiable lie. And it wouldn't be a Joe Biden speech without a confused walk-off.
oh dear.
Pretty much elder abuse at this point. We shouldn't laugh. And here's a little breaking news for you. While that intellectually inept president is in the White House, the US has lost complete control of its southern border. Latest stats revealed that last month, more than 227,000 illegal immigrants were encountered at the border. That's close to 4 times. That's close to 400% increase from the average number of September encounters when Donald Trump was in the White House. So far this fiscal year, there have been over 2.3 million encounters at the border. And that, of course, does not include all the illegal immigrants who cross without being apprehended. Can you believe that? 2.3 million.
Yeah, I want to bring up. Yeah. Oh shit, man! You ain't kidding me. Ozzy Osbourne's looking at him going,
Come on, man.
Marty,
I
Marty,
come on.
Marty brought up something, and he brought it up last week, and you know, I thought about this. I really thought about this through the week. Have you heard anything about her lately?
No.
And let me tell you something. I in my opinion, conspiracy theories that run through my head.
Mhm.
They're not letting her talk. They're not showing her out in public because they're getting ready for him to get yanked. Well, they're getting ready for him to get yanked.
Do you think she's in training?
Hey, I don't know. But if I was in charge of this bunch, I'd be going, listen, you two can't be on stages in the same week, let alone the same month, you know. But no, I mean, she's not fit. The only thing we can do is hope that, you know, the Republicans take back Congress and Senate. But, you know, I'll be honest with you, Marty, and everybody else out there, I'm not too sure McCarthy would be the answer too if he became Speaker of the House and them two went. I you know, better than what we got, but I'm not sure he'd be the answer. That's just my opinion. You know.
Well, your opinion matters here. So you think they kind of shipped her off like the?
I think they're keeping her quiet because they don't need two morons speaking out of the White House. I personally think they're keeping her quiet.
Or they're trying to train her.
I don't know. That could be too, and that's what I mean. I think they're not letting her. They're not letting her talk because one moron up there is enough. They figure they don't need her laughing at everything, you know. Because he says I'm not joking, which means she's right. Whenever he says I'm not joking, he's lying. And when she don't know the answer or something about ready to lie, she just starts laughing and shit comes out of her mouth that, well, the Black Sea, you know, is like Sarah Palin. What's your international, you know,
I can see
affairs?
Russia from my kitchen.
Well, Russia borders Alaska. Remember that?
Have you heard from Beetlejuice at all? We have a clip of her and Ducey firing again.
Did I send that one to you or Ducey is? It was long, so I don't think I sent it.
All right. Here's Peter Ducey and Beetlejuice going at it again.
Okay. Thank you, Kareem. So you're asking oil companies to further lower gas prices. What makes you think that they are going to listen to an administration that is ultimately trying to put them out of business?
How is the administration trying to put them out of business?
Well, they produce fossil fuels, and this president says he wants to end fossil fuel.
So look, you kind of asked me this question yesterday, and here's where we would say U.S. oil production is up and on track to reach a record high next year. We've seen that from from when we see their profit margins. It's record high. And so, in fact, the United States has produced more oil in President Biden's first year than under Trump's administration's first year, but at the same time, oil companies are raking in record profits, while more than 9,000 approved drilling permits remain untapped by the oil industry. There is no shortage of opportunity or incentive for oil companies to ramp up production. This is something that they can actually do. It is available to them. They can do this, and also they are getting the profits. And so, because they're getting, I just showed 60 cents on the chart, more profit, right? That we're seeing, more higher costs that we're seeing than what retailers are paying at the pump. They can bring that down. They've done it before. You saw that at the chart in the beginning. They were able to bring prices down.
And one more that folds in the president's top domestic priorities. In Georgia, The president's endorsed candidate for governor, Stacey Abrams, is suggesting that one way to mitigate the effects of inflation is to get an abortion. Does President Biden agree?
I did not see her comments on this, so I don't know the context of this. Again, I want to be careful because this is a political debate, and it's related to a midterm, an election. So I'm not going to comment on that.
Wait, before one, you can see the disgust in her face when she comes to Peter Dassey, man. It's funny.
Right.
But here, two things before we go into that. Well, yeah, Biden's first year would create more oil than Trump's. They had everything shut off when Trump took office, Doug. You remember the Keystone was down?
Right.
They had halts on drilling, everything else. Now, Trump got it up. So when Biden takes office, sure, his first year is going to be more than Trump's. Two, how'd she not hear what Stacey Abrams said? The whole country heard it.
Yes. Yeah,
Even I heard it.
and if you heard it,
I mean, if I heard
There's
it,
no
she heard it.
no excuse for her not to know. It's all political theater.
Yeah, $5.79 for diesel.
Unbelievable.
You know, and here, let's stop. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. Jack Windsor. Remember that? Jack Windsor?
Yeah.
It'd be his turn, and DeWine would be like,
Right. Here we go.
you know what's sad? Let's go to Ohio politics just for a second.
Yeah, we're going to go into Ohio.
Because me and Doug would call each other laughing. I mean, it was there. What every day we'd stop at 2:00 because DeWine, you know, and he went from being one of the top 5 questions. Remember that, Doug? He was always in the top 5 to
right.
sometimes he went way down the ladder. DeWine pushed him so far down. Sometimes he didn't even get to hear it. Everybody was getting mad. Whatever happened to Jack Windsor? I'd like to know. Could you see him and Dassey in the White House together? Oh my God, she'd resign. You know, and you know what? Here's the thing.
Watch what you say.
Here's the thing. I got restricted again. Here's the thing.
I don't know why.
Cal Krebs. You know, I don't know what Greg has as far as a fleet for his elevator business, but Cal Krebs has 3 boom trucks. Does a lot for Menards, right? Boom Pro Trucking. Now, you know, when diesel fuel was $3.25, $3.40. Now it's $5.79. He's got 3 trucks running that are burning diesel fuel, and I'm telling you, them trucks ain't getting maybe 8 miles a gallon if he's lucky on a good day.
Right.
So people are wondering, and that's just Boom Pro. People are wondering, well, I don't understand why things are going up. Well, he can't deliver, you know, drywall or whatever it is for the same price he did 2 years ago.
Right. Right.
He can't do it. It's just not feasible business wise. So, you know, that's why you grocery store everything, trickle down effect, you know. But according to Biden, you know, inflation's not that bad.
No, and the COVID's over.
COVID's over until
for a moment.
Until Thanksgiving.
Till we get to it.
And if DeWine and the Democrats DeWine wins, he's going to be knocking in their door again. You got more than 6 people in there.
Could you imagine the little elf man looking in your window?
See you. Yeah, but stop and think though, Gail. And here, let me, you know, it's like I say about Dean Henry and the mom and pop stores like him, you know, that aren't corporate. You're a small fish, and that's who it hurts most. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, Doug? That's who it hurts most. I mean, when you got a fleet of 70 trucks, 200 trucks, 300 trucks, you're going to get that fleet discount, you know. So 3 trucks, you might not get the discounts, you know.
Well,
Yeah. It's we got enough oil. She was right on one thing, Doug. We have enough oil to keep us going, but they got to let them keep drilling in the places where it's at, open the Keystone back up, and different things we need to do right now.
well, she said, I watched another one, and she said there's like 900 permits that aren't used yet.
Well, yeah, because it's on shit land.
Or
It's on shit land. It's not.
the mountains.
Well, where the minerals are, where it's rich, they're not letting them drill there. They took them permits away.
Okay.
You know, you're not going to go drill when you can get. I don't know nothing about the drilling oil and how it works, but if you get a million gallons, a million barrels out of that well over there, and you're only going to get 150,000 over at that well, you're not going to drill it. You're not going to waste some money. Yeah, see, Kev gets no discount, you know. So it is what it is. Yeah. Because, Marty, that's...
Because that's how they do their math. It's a new math.
Gets that Common Core math, didn't you know?
Right, that's how they do that. If you don't know Common Core math, you're not going to be able to figure it out.
Well, yeah, Greg, it's doubled, even the gas. You're right. I'm just, it whatever. And then people wonder, you got to make that up somewhere, just like it gets passed on. And had that argument the other day, Doug. You know what I'm talking about. Aluminum went up, so therefore,
Yeah.
So it is.
Okay, so just in time for the elections, a new stealthy coronavirus variant is spreading fast, spooking scientists and Wall Street analysis.
Wait a minute. What did I say? What did I say 2 weeks ago?
You didn't say anything about coronavirus.
No, but I said there's another variant or something going around because everybody's got viral infections and it's undetectable. They're testing negative.
If you are keeping score, this one's going to be XBB, which is the new version of the Omicron. And what it's done is split out. It's spreading quickly in Singapore, and virus watchers are worried it could spread in the U.S. Obviously,
is it being detected though?
Let me see. I'm thinking since they know that it's spreading.
Well, here's the reason why is because there's a bunch of people getting sick, and they're going to the doctor and stuff, and they're testing negative, and you got a bad viral infection. That same shit we heard in January of 20.
Well, this one is immune to everything that we've done so far with COVID.
Well, so's fucking half the other ones that we have. I mean, we got a vaccine for Alpha, and then what's in that Delta come out? Well, they had to get a booster for Delta. By the time Delta, we're on Omicron. They had to get a booster for Omicron. Then we're on Omicron 5, and.
Well, now BA5 is in the U.S.
Yeah.
So if you're keeping score,
we don't have a booster for that yet.
We don't have the XBB yet. That one's coming. Just in time for Halloween and the election.
To shut it down.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going through that again. Nobody's going to do that again. Yeah, well, you're right, Greg. And I didn't get spanked, and I still don't know how we didn't get spanked, Doug. When I went into the spiel a couple of weeks ago, but when I was pissed off when I got out of the hospital, and I'm still on that kick. I'm right now. I don't care. I'm still on that kick. I don't give a shit. Fuck you, Facebook. That vaccine in my mind fucked me up. There, I said it.
Wow.
Ooh,
We'll wait on all our people. Okay,
Yeah.
so
that's what I mean. He's got same symptoms. Listen, Doug, he's got same symptoms. The fucking same. I talked to him for 40 minutes. Did I or did I not, Randy Feekins? The same way it started with me. You seen it. The same fucking exact way it started with me. He's got the same shit when it started with me. Same.
well,
But you know what? That's just two guys that, ain't related or nothing. Two guys that just happen to have the same fucking shit.
right,
Coincidence, right?
right. Okay, Facebook. That was Chris's opinion. We should run a scroll for that. I
Fuck
think
it.
that.
I don't care.
But speaking of population control, yes, that is part of the Bilderberg Group. If you go research that, you will see that they will develop a what do they call it? A virus that will control the population because they want it to be
7.2 billion, I think, or 7.4 billion people in the world right now. And Bill Gates and the Bilderberg Group thinks it should be at 4.5.
right. One world government. Dean, I ask every week. Chris hasn't moved on it.
What?
Miss-
There's no answer back. I mean, it's the phone line. You call the phone line, it don't even have a recording.
Is she out of business? Maybe
I
we
believe
put her out of
she's out.
business.
We didn't,
Where's
but
her-
she
oh,
put
there she
herself.
is.
There
Sweet
she is.
Mary.
Sweet Mary.
Sweet Mary. F the Akron police.
Yeah. Oh, Joey almost said it.
No.
All right.
All right. So let's talk about Ohio and issue 2. Do you know what it is?
No.
Issue
Right.
2 is Citizenship Voting Requirement Amendment.
Okay.
Currently, let's see what it says currently. Currently, it says every citizen of the United States is entitled to vote in all elections.
Okay.
Well, every citizen, it doesn't have anything to do with age, where you live, how long you've been registered, anything about
If you're a felon,
All right. So now what this will do, if you vote yes on issue 2, you support prohibiting local governments from allowing non-citizens or those who lack the qualifications of an elector to vote in local elections. That's a yes vote. No means that you oppose that. You allow local governments to allow non-citizens and those that lack qualifications to be able to vote. And you're probably saying to yourself, what are the qualifications? So the qualifications would be 18 years of age or older, being a resident of state, county, township, or ward, having been registered to vote for 30 days, having the qualifications of an elector. I thought that was always in place, but obviously it hasn't been, since we're just now going to vote on it.
So we have two issues. We have two issues in Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
First one, you vote yes on. If you want the bond set for
The
public
judges
safety.
to be able to think
Up a bond for public safety.
Mhm.
Second one, you vote yes if you feel you should have to be 18 or older to vote, and you have to be within the legal rights that we thought were in place of
Yes.
not being a felon, 30 days registered, being a citizen of the United States, the whole 9 yards. If you vote no, then you throw that out and anybody can vote. Correct?
Correct. Yes. And now this
What the
is
fuck?
only.
Why do we have to even have these things?
I thought it was always like that. I thought that you always had
So
to be.
Ohio didn't have that?
No, every citizen could vote, and that's how it's written right now today. Every citizen.
When you're born in the United States, you're a citizen.
Citizen, correct. Correct.
So, I get my grandbabies. Okay, come on.
Yeah, go push that button over there.
Yeah, here, I'll help you with the slip.
Parental guidance.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, according to what you're telling me, I could do that.
Because but think about this last year, or
it goes back to what they're trying to push through, 16 or over.
but they can vote now according to the law.
What about being dead? Are dead people allowed to vote? Evidently, Joe.
Yes, actually they can. We found that out.
But so exactly, Lori, you vote. You guys vote how you want to. Okay.
Right.
You're not going to tell a person how they should vote. I mean,
You're still welcomed here, no matter how you vote.
Yeah, I don't care, but I'm voting yes on 1 and 2. That's what it comes down to. If you vote for anybody who didn't watch last week, I'll summarize it real quick. They took it to Ohio Supreme Court. A judge. Let's say you're a county common pleas judge. You go in there and not ever have a charge for attempted murder. Bond set at $40,000. Next guy comes in, same charge, attempted murder, but he's got a 200 crimes on his list, charges, where he's been charged 200 times. 150 is a violent crime, serious violent crimes. The judge can put his bond at $125,000 for public safety. The people took it in the Ohio Supreme Court. Right now, it's going to have to be the same on issue 2. If you vote no, it stays the same. That guy gets the same bond. It's just set bond $40,000. That's it. Public safety doesn't matter. If you vote yes, it puts it back into the judge's hands, where you can take public safety, violent offender, and everything in consideration up to bond. Second issue is, if you vote yes, that means you got to be 18, you got to be registered to vote 30 days. All the laws and rules we thought were in place, but evidently wasn't, Doug. If you vote no, it doesn't matter. Illegal immigrants, not being a smartass, but over in Norwalk, where they're building that little city and bringing immigrants in to work.
You've been watching it?
But they're not a citizen. They're not, they'd be allowed to vote.
So, to be honest,
if you vote no, you're letting them vote.
Yeah, correct.
If you vote yes, you're stopping that.
And remember, this administration sent these to all the places where they needed help. So that's why we're getting them.
Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, yeah, you're exactly right. So basically, Lori, yeah, you said what I'm voting. Yes on issue 1 and yes on issue 2. And I'm voting for DJ Swearinger. Boy, Westerhold's a dick.
What did he do?
He just rat fucks DJ every chance he gets.
He's welcome to come on here.
I'd love to, because it would get pretty bad and we'd probably get canceled for a couple of weeks because penalized, because I'm not a fan of who's running against them. I mean, and I would ask Matt some questions he wouldn't like.
They have to take the whole. If you vote yes, they have to take everything into consideration. They may not do it now.
Yeah, you're right. In the inner cities, though, bond is set and it don't matter. You could have a guy that, it's fucked up. So what it is, Greg, it's fucked up. Right now it's messed up. My opinion, on it is I'd rather have a judge who sees these guys coming in and out of his, revolving door in the courtroom and sees how many charges he's had against violent crime. I'd rather have a judge have it in his hands of setting that bond at so much, as opposed to Doug walking in, never had a charge in his life, lower, give him, and, you got to take flight risk and everything else. These judges see these guys. They're supposed to appear Monday morning at 9:00, and they posted bond because they never come back into court. And then you got to go hunt them down.
Right. Well, we spend resources on that.
Yeah. No, we haven't. We haven't talked about the furries in the House yet, about them allowing to vote.
They. I don't know what they're going to do, because eventually that's going to be a box that you check: male, female, cat, whatever you're identifying as.
Cat, a fucking cat.
Yes, you can be a cat. You can be whatever you want to be, and any of these that will be on there.
I want to identify as an MSHA agent someday.
So if you're the LGBTQ2SIA plus, you have your own little box there to choose. And I don't. Do you know anybody at the election place?
Tammy said she used to work there. Remember last week or whatever it was.
Tammy on?
She said she used to work there, but I don't think she does anymore. You're right, Greg. It's the lesser of two evils. Yeah, litter boxes. I'm sorry, I eat my ballot.
Right.
Oh boy.
I scratched a hole in it.
Yeah. So,
Tammy, so just first of all, let's go backwards here a little bit. When you were working there, didn't people have to maintain a resident of state, county, township, or ward, be registered to vote for 30 days, and be qualified as an elector? Isn't that the way it was? I thought it was. Think about all these ballots that were mailed in.
I don't even want to. You go right now, early voting at Erie County.
Yeah, but how do they? Okay, so why are we having this issue on the ballot?
I don't know, Doug.
I'm asking Tammy because she said yes. In order to vote, you had to have those qualifications, but we're voting on it now in 20.
Listen, let me tell you, and this is a text or a phone call I need to make tomorrow.
Uh-oh.
I think they're trying to sneak one by on us.
What?
Well, if we vote no, then it changes the law, right? If we vote yes, the law stays the same. It's almost like what we're voting for in issue 1. We're voting to put it back the way it was.
You could text them.
I'll text them.
Long text.
Hey, what the fuck's up with this issue 2?
Come on the show now. We'll send you a link.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
You just call in.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Let's give a pizza away.
Hashtag no bull show. We got a good song at the end of the show, don't we, Doug?
Yeah, we did. It's not a song, but it's good.
Well, I thought it was a song.
Reverse psychology, that is true. What?
I thought it was a song.
No, it has. No, it don't have. It does have some music with it, but it's not a song. All right, so
Cal, that's. I'm sorry, Doug. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm gonna put it in chat.
Cal, that's exactly what it is, and this is like I was saying last week. Y'all remember when the no smoking issue come up? It was fucked up because all one word, Randy.
Right. Yeah.
Hashtag no bullshit. I voted yes because the way everything was worded, and when I voted yes, thinking that you could still smoke in bars, it was an actual no. Boom, and it went out, and that's how they word these fucking issues, and it just aggravates the living piss out of me because. And remember, I said it last week. When you go in to vote, there's no time limit. You ain't like a bell rings in 10 minutes and you're, in your booth and you got to go. If you have to read that issue 8 times, read it, because I learned a valuable lesson back then because Doug, I skimmed through and boom, yeah, yes. And it was, after the election, I'm like, how'd this happen? And you start reading it and you're like, son of a bitch. And they put so much words and twist shit around so much that it confuses the living shit out of you. And you think you're voting for, yes, I don't want this. And you just voted for yes. And it should have been, yeah, I want it, and it's reverse psychology. And I honestly think if that's the way it reads, Doug, I honestly think that if you vote yes, you just saying, yes, I want it to stay the way it is, with all these regulations and laws in place. And if you vote no, it gets rid of that.
That's why you got to watch the C&D No Bull show.
That's why you got to watch.
You'll learn a lot. So see what he says about that, because I got a feeling you're right.
I'll ask him tomorrow, and you can bet your ass. And that's what I think. I don't know. I think he's going to come back and say, listen, the rules are in place and everything's in place. And if you vote yes, that means you want everything to stay the same. If you vote no, all them rules are out. Then you get these 16-year-olds voting, Doug, like they want in the federal.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Tide Pod generation.
Huh?
We'll go back to the Tide Pod generation.
The Tide Pods. Motherfuckers eating Tide Pods a couple years ago, and now we got them voting.
Now they're voting, and
yeah, they are now. I'll be honest with you. A couple years ago, they were 16, and now they're voting. He was eating Tide Pods, and now you turned into a fucking cat. See what that Tide Pod did to you? Now you're identifying as a furry, you dumb bastard.
All right, now that's why we have litter boxes in our schools, because of you. All right.
Deborah Doc. Uh-oh.
Deborah Doc's on.
Family's watching.
Uh-oh.
I better clean my language up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
We're giving away a page.
Hashtag no bull show. Big D's Pizza, Clyde, Ohio. Dean Henry, we really appreciate you, buddy. We got the food that he serves. Of course he did. Wait till you get to the ribs, people.
Yeah, I don't think I have that on, but we were going to talk about that because there's a school in trouble over all gender bathroom, and then they have 2 they have male and female, if that still exists.
Ate the Tide Pods and coughed up a hairball. You want to identify as me? Lick your crotch, son of a bitch. Cats can do it. I want to see you do it. Doug, play some of Dean's food.
All right,
Henry.
Let's see what you got here.
Brave soul. Putting his business up on our.
Especially the rate we're going now.
Birch.
I could go for that right now.
Yeah, that does look good. It all looks good. And the ribs.
And
there you go. I tell you, people, them ribs were supposed to go to Doug, but I ate them.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you what, I'm not a rib guy, but man, that looks good too. I am a bacon guy.
Yeah.
Sorry if we got any Muslims watching the show. I eat a lot of bacon.
We don't have to worry about Japan because we're already banned there.
Yeah, we're already banned in Japan. Yeah, them onion rings look
I
good.
could go for that too.
Fold over.
What's going on? Oh, there's that.
I don't know. You're running the show.
I'm trying.
Pizza.
All about food. And by the way, I think Dean, you're doing DoorDash now, right? Did I see that?
DoorDash. That they're trying to kill.
What?
Oh yeah.
Just trying to kill DoorDash.
I got to do some more on that research. I just opened my mouth, but yeah, they're trying to tax it or there's something going on with DoorDash and that and all them, them that they're trying to nail it and do away with it.
And, okay, so you have both DoorDash and Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, DoorDash.
That's not. How far will they do?
Not the fucking Toronto, Ohio.
But you may be able to get it.
I might be able to get it.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to get it.
Do you know how far they deliver?
I bet you they deliver in Norwalk.
You could meet them in Norwalk. That's cool.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Dean, what you went to that a month or two ago, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
Dean says, "Quit asking me questions. I don't freaking know, Doug. I just got it. I don't know how far they go. Call them."
All of a sudden, you have all these questions.
Here we go.
All right.
Big D's Pizza.
Spinning the big wheel. One more time. Hashtag no bull show. What went by your house?
Some dude at big wheels and a diesel engine, rolling coal. Guess he pissed off at Biden too. Huh?
All right. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
We're in it.
Well, I put it in chat, but if we do win, that's good for me.
Ah, Jesus Christ, it's fixed.
All right. Okay.
You can't Uber a free pizza, Doug. Spin it again.
I will never get it.
Nope.
Never. Okay.
Oh,
okay, now what are you going to do?
Now you're going to roll it again.
Jeez. Why can't I win something? I can say give it to somebody. DoorDash it to Toronto, Ohio. All right,
Randy Keekins.
You're a winner.
Winner. Pizza dinner.
Yep. You are a winner. So there you go. It's rigged.
It's rigged. Doug was trying like hell to get a pizza.
I was. All right. Well, I'm not going to get one, so that's that. Thank you, Lori.
What is... Yeah. Thank you twice, Lori. He cheated me again. He's a prick. I told you he's a prick. See what I used to have to deal with?
Worse than that. All right, so let me pull it up so I get the right information here. Okay, so this couple's on a nice leisurely walk through Houston, Texas.
Okay.
And they're in a nice historically old place called Sunnyside. Sunnyside's the name of the place by Houston.
Yeah.
And it's a black neighborhood on the south side of Houston. And they're an older couple. They're just taking a walk, and they find this. Now, if you don't look at it carefully,
November 11th,
right,
1855.
Right, there you go. So underneath it says $1, 2 wenches with the given names, age, and described as excellent cooks or servants. That's what it says, that you can't see. Hate crime or not?
Yes.
They didn't find that funny at all. They didn't find it
I wouldn't have either.
and the police are looking for whoever put it up, like they're gonna find that. And they
There's so many cameras out there nowadays, you never know.
they what they're afraid of is they're gonna hang more flyers up, and this is just gonna create yet another division, as the Bilderberg Group would like to do.
Right.
So they're very clever. Now,
So here we go back on that again now.
so this one's a little tougher to watch. Let me pull it up here. Okay, so this lady, Kayla Thurston, is talking about being assaulted on a metro bus. And the video is pretty moving, but when you watch it, you're going to see the piece where she was actually assaulted by some teenagers. What happened was she got on the bus, she sat down, a lady got on the bus with a newborn or an infant. She stood up and gave the seat to that lady that had the child. And then these teenagers get on there. They're, I believe, going to school. They're using public transportation to go to school. So she, they're cussing, and she's like, stop cussing, you know, in front of the lady and her child. And it didn't go very well after that. Here we go.
Like, you know, you got kids going to school, but the parents should be held responsible for actions like this. Like I said, I didn't want to come forth, but watching the video myself personally, it kind of like, it startled me, and I'm still startled about it.
Yeah. Would it be okay if I give you a hug?
That's fine.
Because I know so many people care about you.
And my family even was concerned about it, but like I said, I didn't want to come forth at first, but I don't fear nobody but the Lord.
Hey, let me ask a question.
Yeah.
How many other people are on the bus?
It
You know, the
doesn't
bus
say
ain't
that.
empty.
Right. The bus driver made no attempt to stop the bus. He didn't alert local authorities or anything in her
He should be
defense.
fired.
Even after she started yelling at the top of her lungs, "Stop the bus, let me off," the driver never stopped.
Yep, you're right, Marty.
What?
You're right too, Mike. This is, it's outrageous that nobody, you can't tell me that nobody else on the bus. And why didn't that bus driver stop the bus? He should be fired right now.
Could you see the part where they were?
Yeah.
Did you see anybody around them? Like, did you-
They were at the door, it looked like.
and somebody's obviously videoing it.
So, yeah, you know, what, I guess it's more important to video it than help. You know, here's the problem. If I'm on the bus, you're right.
Right.
Oh man, I wouldn't go home. I wouldn't go home. But you know, you're right, Cal. But here's the. I don't. There's just no reason that the bus driver, when he finally does stop, lets them push her off the bus like they do. They pushed her off the bus. That's what I saw on that. Am I wrong?
Yeah, they were pulling her off the bus. Yeah, they're pushing.
So
her.
why didn't the bus driver jump up and you know?
There's a lot of questions now that you brought it up. There's a lot of questions to this. Let me play this one more time because I need to look at it, because she does say they were trying to throw her off the bus, but if she's yelling to stop the bus, the doors won't open. I don't think.
The doors ain't gonna open unless the bus driver opens them.
Right. Let me try it one more time.
Like, you know, you got kids going to school, but the parents should be held responsible for actions like this. Like I said, I didn't want to come forth, but watching the video myself personally, it kind of like, it startled me, and I'm still startled about it.
Yeah, yeah. Would it be okay if I give you a hug?
That's fine.
Because I know so many people care about you.
And my family even was concerned about it, but like I said, I didn't want to come forth at first, but I don't fear nobody but the Lord.
The bus driver opened the doors and shut them.
I can't tell if the bus is moving or not.
No. The bus driver opened the doors and then shut it. Well, if you go back and look at the end, the door shuts. They were shutting the door. This is whatever. This is wrong on every occasion you can think of. You know,
it goes really bad.
They ought to get the kids. They ought to be charged. You know, problem is we should, I don't know, take their parents and do a brain scan on them.
You know, they're going to, and I couldn't tell what race they were or anything like that.
Doesn't matter.
But
you know, you want to get on a race? Let me bring something up. I'll get on a race. Let's talk about Bubba Wallace.
Okay, and I think we share this opinion.
Bubba Wallace drove up the track coming out of turn 4 at Las Vegas last week by Kyle Larson. Something we've seen a million times drivers do. He goes off the wall. Larson really never hits him, but he goes off the wall and he comes down the track and takes out Kyle Larson, puts him in the fence, whatever. Okay. Yeah. So he marches down the track, gets into it with Kyle Larson, and the whole world goes crazy. Okay. Everybody's pissed off. Nobody was pissed off years ago when Dale Earnhardt spun Labonte out at Bristol and turned 3 and 4 under the weight and in front of the whole field. Nobody was pissed off when Carl Edwards and Brad Keselowski. Now, don't get it wrong. I can't stand Bubba Wallace, okay? Nobody was pissed off when Carl Edwards and Keselowski were flipping each other upside down and into the fence in Atlanta, tearing down the fence and shit. We didn't hear shit about it. The only reason that we're hearing about Bubba Wallace and everybody's pissed off is because of the bull ropes at Talladega, the Black Lives Matter movement, and he played the race card. Well, you know, I don't know, Marty. You know, he's been good enough to get there. I mean, Danica Patrick, when she drove NASCAR, tell me how much better she did than Bubba Wallace. Let's be fair here, and let's. I don't want to turn it into a NASCAR show, but let's compare. How much better was she than Bubba Wallace? Okay, there's a lot of names come up through NASCAR. Them guys couldn't drive a car. But yeah, Logano, you know, asshole or not, Randy, I agree he's an asshole. But here's the thing: we've all had our opinions of Bubba Wallace. If it was any other driver, this wouldn't be as big of an issue. Everybody was waiting to jump on that Bubba Wallace train. As soon as he fucked up, which he did, we're all going at it and going crazy. And it's nothing different than that. A lot of them drivers haven't done themselves. You know, I mean, come on. You know, Tony Stewart's done it. They've all done it, Doug. They've all done it. Hell, I remember Kevin Harvick who's speaking out, getting called to the NASCAR trailer, parking his car right at the back of the trailer. Didn't even drive back to his garage, parked it underneath. You know. Well, regardless, I think it's. You want my honest opinion? NASCAR opened that shit up when they said a few years ago, let's put it back in the hands and drivers can take care of themselves. They wanted to draw TV ratings, Doug. That's all they wanted to draw back then, with Carl Edwards and Keselowski fighting and shit and all that shit going on. Where the man should have got punished, and I don't feel 1 week was enough. If you watch, I don't give a shit that he pushed Kyle Larson. Them guys pushing each other. Shit. 2 years ago when Kyle Busch went after Joey Logano, he come, his forehead was bleeding, a big brawl right there, and nothing, nothing, Doug. They might have got money fine, but where the punishment should have been put place. He didn't push the NASCAR official. Watch, when he's walking away, the official, he jabbed him. He didn't push him away, he jabbed him. Then he should have been nailed. Y'all missing that. Listen, NASCAR's sitting down there. Their marketing and PR got their feet up on the desk. They're laughing. This is the most you heard of NASCAR in years. This whole week, that's all you heard was NASCAR.
Right. Yeah.
And the thing of it is you're all fixated, and don't get mad at me, or get mad at me. I don't give a fuck. You're all fixated on this movement he was involved in, the hang rope, the race card. Bubba Wallace couldn't drive his way out of, he's only there because of this, his race, this, that. You're all fixated on that. And not where you should have been. I ain't heard one person say anything about him jabbing that official, Doug. Not one fucking person. And you talked about it all week. It's what we heard all week.
Right.
He spun a guy out, and it took Christopher Bell out, and he was in a chase. Dale Earnhardt spun Terry Labonte out on purpose in front of the whole field at Bristol on the white flag lap. Not one of you guys is bitching. The ones that hated Earnhardt was bitching, but there ain't nobody calling for his head back then. There wasn't nobody calling for Keselowski and Edwards' heads. There's Logano. He's been a little prick, for how many years now? Kenseth. Kenseth sat there and waited for him to come in. That was at Martinsville. Waited for him to come down the front, drove him right up in the turn 2 wall. And nobody called for his head.
Right. By the way, who won today?
I don't know. I haven't watched since Daytona. And
the answer's Larson.
And what's he going to do? Fight back? He's on probation for using a slang term. Whatever.
All right.
I just had to get that off my chest.
And that's good. We're glad, because you don't want blackout or something thinking about it.
Well,
how are you doing anyhow?
I'm all right.
All right. We can't go a week without something about schools.
Oh, no.
But
Tammy. Insert Xanax.
Take it now. So this is in Florida. The Florida State Board of Education adopted a new series of new rules for public and charter schools that deteriorate protections for LGBTQ plus students. And this is despite an opposition from nearly 100 attendees and over 1,000 messages sent to the board. So here's what they came up with. We talked about that at the top of the show, Chris.
Yeah, hold on, Chris. I'll get into it before we leave.
Yeah. So here's what they came up with. Requiring schools to notify every parent in writing if they permit students to use all gender facilities. So if you have a child and they can use the all gender, they can do that, but they have to have permission from the parent. People were upset about that.
Well, sure, because California and them are all saying that they don't. And where's that other state, Wisconsin, where they're fighting? You don't have to tell your parent. They don't, or children's services come see you if they don't agree.
Correct. Yes. The notification has to include measures for supervision in changing rooms and a detailed list of which facilities are not separated by biological sex. Additionally, these schools must include single-sex facilities that are off-limit to trans students with no specific measure for supervision.
DeSantis for president.
This is exactly where it's coming from, yep. Now, they're required to supply a full list of books or media made accessible to K through 5 students. According to the board's press release, the purpose is to eliminate inappropriate, indoctrinating, and pornographic materials in libraries and classrooms.
DeSantis for president.
So they also mandate prohibits classroom discussions of sexual orientation or gender identity to kids K through 3. It's a start. It's a baby step. On the surface, this is an enforcement of the Don't Say Gay law passed in Florida earlier this year.
Let me tell you something. Texas will follow.
Everywhere. This is for cats. This is for dogs.
I don't think Trump will. I think DeSantis and Owens. That's my ticket.
Yeah, and I think Trump's got a lot of problems. I don't think that he's going to be able to pull it off. But he did say recently that he thinks he may have to do it again.
No shit.
Sure, son. Oh, you're identifying as female. Oh, wait a minute. That's different.
You identify with my hand upside your head. I think DeSantis got a lot of votes, to be honest with you. I
think
I don't.
Will said if Trump runs, he's not going to. So Trump needs to make a decision. Can you call him and get that done?
Yeah, right.
All right.
I don't know, man. I'm just telling you, it's DeSantis and Candace Owens.
I agree with you.
She's got enough problems. She's probably got 10 hits on her by now. Speaking out against Black Lives Matter.
Yes. Actually, there was something we were going to talk about, but I don't know a lot about it. But Candace Owens threatens George Floyd's family. I think that I have the grounds to sue. That's what she says.
You know, Cal brought that up. Hey, Bridge of Sanibel, I don't know, the road to the bridge is washed out.
Mm-hmm.
The contractor was supposed to have it fixed by Friday, I think Cal said, and it was fixed Tuesday, or DeSantis fast-tracked that.
Right.
You know, there ain't you know, here. I don't have to like a guy, which I do, actually, but I don't have to like him. I didn't really like Trump. Said it many times. I didn't like him. He's an arrogant fucking asshole. But he got shit done. He got shit done. And DeSantis, in my opinion, same way. You know?
All right.
So,
All right. You're going to lead us into the Twilight Zone here.
Twilight Zone. What do you mean?
You're going to take us to the end of our show.
Well, with what?
You wanted to speak on to Chris about the.
Listen, 140 101st Airborne was deployed to the border of Ukraine. And it's the first time in what, Doug?
80 years.
That the 101st has been deployed. They're doing training exercises.
Practice.
That's fact. They're there. They're gone. They're there. Fact. You only do 2 reasons why you do that, in my opinion. One, you're ready to go to war. Period. You're putting boots on the ground. Period. In my opinion, if you dug into it, there's probably more Marine platoons already been set foot there, because normally, Doug, you know this, Marines are the first ones.
Yes. And I'll tell you a story when you're done there.
So either doing it, 1, preparing to go to war, or 2, you're aggravating, agitating, and doing everything you can to get into a war. That's my opinion, Chris. But the fact is, the 101st is already there. And if we had knowledge of it, we'd probably learn that there's already a couple Marine platoons already there.
Yes.
Go ahead, Doug.
So I was talking to a lady, it had to been earlier this week, last week. You know what I mean? And she said that, just having conversation, and she just said that she's worried because she got a call from her son who said that they're deploying, and she says, "Where are you going?" And he goes, I can't say. And that's true. They're not allowed. And he's on his own cell phone, but he didn't want to risk something happening and, getting in trouble like that. So she said, "Well, can you tell me, is it around water?" And he said, "I can't tell you anything other than I'm being deployed." That was last week. So
call you when I can.
I think he's in the Marine Corps.
So we almost know that through time, the Marine Corps is normally the first ones on the ground.
Right. Yep.
When you put boots on the ground, Marine Corps is first one signed in.
Do you know why?
No, I do not.
I can tell you that. The Marine Corps is the president's own. The president has complete control over the Marine Corps, not any other branch. If they go to war, he has to go through Congress to enact it. With the Marine Corps, he doesn't. He send them because they're his.
What's the badasses in that? What is it? Recon, not recon, or what?
Yeah, recon.
Recon. Remember the special forces.
Right.
So, yeah, pretty much, Chris. It's we got a stupid ass that's leading this country, and evidently we ain't got into it quick enough yet, so he's going to expedite it.
I'm not sure stupid's the right word.
Yeah, I did actually know that. But the president, that's why if you watch wherever the president, like the helicopters in it, it's always Marines that are guarding the president. That's they're his bitches, so to speak, But Marine Corps, guarantee you they're there. It's hard to say how many people we got there. You're not going to know. You're not going to know. And
you only learn that stuff here on the CD. No bullshit.
Other than that, what else we got, Doug?
I think that's going to do it for tonight. We got this thing to end with.
Okay, people. Thanks for watching.
Spend 1 minute after we're done.
Stay safe. Stay informed. We'll be back next week. Thinking about
5 and 8.
Be back 7:55. Get booted off. Come back at 8. Thanks for watching. Stay on and make sure you watch this. What's about to come on here. So other than that, God bless y'all and God bless America.
All right, see ya.